Is AI coming for your job?
Maybe. It depends on the type of job that you have. Those in customer services, journalists, copywriters, other people like me, because actually speed at which AIs are starting to develop their chatbots now means that you can do very, very creative things that we previously thought were innately human using a computer. For years, we used to see chatbots on banking websites or customer services. It's that little annoying thing that pops up in the bottom right-hand corner of your web browser and says, "How can I help you?" In November 2022, OpenAI, which is a artificial intelligence company based in San Francisco, released ChatGPT. This is the front page of ChatGPT as and when you load it up. So I could ask it to write me an episode of Friends in the style of Shakespeare. If I hit enter into that, it then takes me into the chat mode and it starts producing this script. The setting is Central Perk, the coffee house where the friends often meet. Ross, Joey, Chandler and Phoebe are sitting at a table while Rachel and Monica are behind the counter. Joey's just got a new job as a tour guide at the National History Museum. And suddenly they start to break into Shakespearean verse, which is interesting. They don't necessarily always have the best jokes, but you start to see quite how creative this can be. There are loads of people using ChatGPT and other tools like it at the minute. You kind of have the amateur hobbyists, the people who are logging on for the first time just to see what all the interest is about. But then there are an increasingly hardcore group of people who are seeing this as a business opportunity. So they will actually start to use this almost as an additional staff member. I've seen one person compare it to kind of a newly hired graduate, not the world's best one, but also not the world's worst one in terms of its ability to research, to think. So many jobs could be replaced by using AI because it's so much quicker, so much more reliable. You don't need to give it breaks. You don't need to give it a pension. And for business people, that's really vital. People are already using this. So there are law firms in the UK that are using a version of a chatbot similar to ChatGPT to essentially draft the first draft of legal letters, to come up with arguments in court cases. They're using it as kind of an outsourced brain to reduce the workload on themselves. I think that, will take a long time, maybe a few years, to actually see the wholesale replacement of people. And it does depend, frankly, on how able the developers of these AIs are to kind of iron out the wrinkles that still exist, the biases, the errors, the issues that we all know about now. If they can do that, then we could start to see some of those jobs being replaced in the next few years. But I think that it is going to be quite difficult because ultimately, humans adapt. We find ways of making ourselves separate, of making ourselves special, of making the things that we produce individual and irreplaceable by technology. And so I think this might just prompt us to try and go further in our creativity in a way that maybe AI can't match us.